Hey, I've been overthinking about it a lot, and I'm finally here with the first unfiltered raw session with Willie. So, we mainly talked about Naval and his ideas and philosophy. I think it was interesting. Definitely check it out, and let me know what you think. So, the initial idea of reaching out to interesting people and learn from their journey about different topics came from my program, where every Thursday we would have master classes and CEOs, founders, successful entrepreneurs would come and share their journey with us. This was so much fun and super insightful, and honestly, I missed it a lot. Listening to others' story and learning from them. So here we go. Welcome to Inside Out, and hope you, my loyal subscriber, who also happens to be my family member, enjoy it. Draw
Hi,
session.
Regina. Nice to be
So
here.
I'll probably mention like how I met you. So we met
Yeah,
during our internship at Cortella Impact. So you were the
yeah,
second batch, right? And then you did a
yeah,
great job. Look, I think I reached out to you saying like, oh, we were like in the same organization. So,
yeah.
I was really curious about Naval because like there's so many people, especially youth, that say Naval was the true inspiration for them. Like, how
Yeah,
did you
yeah,
learn about Naval? And he has the whole like subreddit, like Reddit community where people ask questions, and yeah, this is so
yeah,
crazy. Like,
yeah.
it's huge, basically. How did you learn about him?
Naval is
And can
big
you
time,
can
but
you can you also share like who is Naval?
okay, okay. Naval is big time modern day philosopher, plus also big in VC and the startup scene. And the way I stumbled upon Naval was just after high school. I was trying to look for
Oh wow.
some kind of mentors to help me out in the real world, school.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
there's a lot to learn. So
Did you
uh,
find him on Twitter? Because I know he on Twitter he's like very, popular. Or
no,
where
I
did
found
you?
Naval through YouTube. But first,
Oh,
yeah, so in my area, there wasn't like a nice mentor who could have been a nice mentor to me, like personally. So
right.
I decided to get online mentors who like we don't even know each other, of which I thought
Mm,
in the modern day that is possible. You can have really high level mentors without you being directly in contact with them. So
right.
I stumbled upon people like Jordan Peterson, who was a nice, um, yeah,
I
that was a
know his
nice one
books,
early
yeah.
on. Yeah, but then when I stumbled upon Naval, that was a game changer for me because I feel like he's kind of this philosopher who is like modern day a philosopher who would, let's say, be in place of old the philosophers that were there. Um,
I see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just found him interesting, and also looking at my interest going into business and trying to look for happiness and freedom. I think there was just that point where I realized that this is the mentor for me that I want to learn more from. I want to become more like this person. Yeah, and
That's
I
super
just found
cool.
him through his YouTube. There was that video for how to get rich without getting lucky.
This is so good, right? Because like
Yeah.
I've read his tweet, like he has
Mhm.
the long tweet thread in it.
Yes.
Most of the time, like I couldn't understand because it's very short and to the point, and it's like you need to elaborate more in order to get it. Yeah, that was
Yes.
super
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
And he has a
Yes.
book, like I think someone wrote the book based on his Twitter. I mean tweets.
Yes.
Have
Yes.
you read it?
Yes. I've read the book. The book
Yeah.
is called the Almanack of
Yeah,
Naval
yeah, yeah,
Ravikant.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
that
really
is
good
really
book.
nice.
And yeah, the book was a compilation of just his teachings and his ideas generally
Mm-hmm.
from the tweets and from also YouTube. And like you also kind of said, most people maybe were not getting it from the tweet sometimes because it's just one tweet, one tweet, one tweet. But this book
Right.
kind of put it up in like one book, like put up all those key tweets and key podcasts into one book
Right.
that gives the ideas and how just about things. And it
Right.
has been a nice inspiration to a lot of people. Yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
curious, like what are the key changes that you have seen after, following Naval, or um like immersing yourself in his teachings and the philosophies
I
and the
see.
way how he
I see.
looks the life.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. I see. So Naval teaches a lot about wealth and happiness.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm not wealthy yet, but
I
I
mean,
feel like
soon, very soon, very soon.
yeah, pretty soon, pretty soon, pretty soon. So the things that he teaches that will be a nice way to get wealth, and there's a way that he clarifies for you that in a way that it helps you to be in the right path towards that, right? And
Hmm.
yeah, also on happiness, he talks a lot about freedom of the mind and just keeping the mind calm.
Right.
Yeah. So for
Tell
me,
me more about your personal challenge changes. Yeah, maybe like in
yeah,
terms of
yeah,
entrepreneurship or
yes,
mindset.
yes, 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 yes. So in terms of wealth, I've talked a lot about modern leverage. It's beautiful.
Thanks
Yeah,
so
the
much.
simpler the better. Yeah. So I was talking about how Naval talks about leverage, and in the past, like the way you would have gotten rich is through owning land and animals and all that. Then from let's say something, I think 18th to 19th century, people started capital, right? Now you could
Mm,
have capital and put into land and animals and buy more land and animals, something like that.
right.
Then with time, there's this new form of leverage that came in, technology.
Hmm.
So capital led to nice industries coming out. People like Ford came through capital. But with technology, now this is where now people like Mark Zuckerberg,
Right.
Elon, that's how they become rich. And that's how a lot of people are becoming rich nowadays because they will bring in a little bit of labor from themselves and from other people that they hire.
Hmm.
And they multiply that with capital from people. They multiply that through code and also through media, right? And I thought now that I'm living in this century, if I wanted to become wealthy and to earn my freedom, that would be the way to do it because that's what I've learned from Naval. So I started Venture Studio, a Venture
Yes.
Studio plus a syndicate. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's been 6 months now. Yeah, I called it Lever X Studio. So because of maximizing the modern forms of leverage, so I'm maximizing labor, which I'm trying to get great talent. Right now, I have two founders in my team plus me, so three people.
Hmm.
Then I'm maximizing capital I'm getting from the syndicate payment, the members who can come in and put money in those projects that we start. Then
Right.
code, we are only focusing on SaaS, transactional businesses, and digital marketplaces. Then media, we are trying to spread the word out there through online the media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, you know.
Hmm.
So
Right.
that is the aspect where he has magnified my life in terms of creating wealth. So, and I feel like if I keep on going through this path, um, I might have 1, 2, 3 failures, but through that leverage, in 3, 4, 5 years, I will gain my freedom, and I can help other people also through to go through that, right?
All right.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm also sorry to disturb you, but
no,
I'm
it's okay.
really curious about he talks mainly about coding in media. Is there any
Yes.
other fields?
Okay, he talks a lot about coding and media because they're permissionless. Because you don't
Oh.
have to ask anyone the permission to post something on YouTube or to post something on IG,
Mm,
and you don't have to ask someone a permission to write code and to set up your website, right?
all right. Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But for labor, if I want talent, I will have to ask someone, hey, I need you to come and help me with this thing here and there. I think you're really good. And also for capital, I will need to get someone to help me, right? Like I will need someone who like has some capital. But with
Right.
code and media, it's free of charge and is permissionless. Anyone can do it. So that's why it's code and media, the forms of leverage that can like magnify your efforts tenfold without you requiring the permission from other people. And I think that's the future. That's how the next let's say generations are going to be more. Now more people will have this urge to do their own thing and to magnify it through code and media. And we are seeing this getting more common time as the time goes by. We're seeing people trying to create something like, let's say, like a personal brand, like the way
Right.
Dan has it, like the way who else? You see, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is the way it's going to be in future, I think.
So are you saying that like everyone should have a personal brand?
Yeah, I think in one way or the other, it would be nice for everyone to have their personal brand. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you
Even
know,
if,
like I
even
mean,
if,
posting on YouTube and like being
yes,
basically a creator and
yes,
influencer.
yes. But I think not everyone should go all in into that. You can start your
Mm,
personal brand while working for someone else, but in that way, also you're still trying to take more accountability and
right.
just get high up in the ladder so that you have more leverage and you learn more through that and you explore that through your personal branding so that later when you're ready to go full in, you can also borrow those things that you did while helping others to push up your
Right.
personal brand.
I totally see.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how about like what will be your advice for introverts? Like for me, posting something on even on IG is like such a struggle. Like I don't know. Like I feel like I always overthink.
yeah.
And yeah, what will be your advice on that?
I think I'm not like a professional that
'Cause,
will give you really professional advice, but what I would say is to just get started. I mean,
mm,
just put something out there, put it in the world, and see how people react to it. And I think you'll also discover a lot about you apart from just
right,
learning more about what you can do. I think just putting yourself out there will help you learn a lot about yourself. And the best way to just do it is to get started. Like, just do something, just like record something, put it out there, and
all right.
get the feedback from people, learn more from it, put another one, and that's how you get started. I mean, just do it. That's my advice.
Nike. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think if you just do it after a while, you will be surprised by how
mm,
much you would have grown from that, and you will actually be glad that you did it.
right.
Yes, I think just
That
do
makes
it.
sense.
Just
I'm
do
also
it.
curious, like Naval talks about like setting an aspirational hourly wage for yourself. What's your what's yours? Like
Yeah,
I know it needs to be aspirational, so
yeah, yeah. I think like in the modern world, time is really critical. And if you can set your own hourly aspirational goal, it will help you to know your worth, not just in the present, but in
hmm
the long run, right? And you'll be surprised that you're actually worth more than you think you are. Way, way, way more. And I think if you do that, it kind of helps you to maximize your time, knowing that your time is more valuable,
hmm
right? That will help you to do things like, let's say, if your wage, let's say you're thinking $100 per hour, and you have a task that you can get someone and you pay them $20 per hour, you'd rather pay that person $20 and save your time, which will be
right.
you'll have $80 profit, right?
hmm
So for me, I'm still working around that. I haven't settled on
Uh-huh.
yeah. So, but I have a range that I'm working on. But I
Right.
think in 1 2 years, I will have now that specific hourly aspirational rate that
that I think. But for now,
Makes sense.
I am working on a range. Have you
Sure.
personally tried?
So I've tried one day and then like I basically forgot. So like I think it's just the mindset like oh for example if you're sitting and scrolling on IG then
Yeah.
you should think like
Correct.
will I pay this much to do this,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think that helps in that terms, but other than that, I'm not sure if it's effective for me personally. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, but it's definitely
Can
an
be effective.
interesting experiment to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think a nice trick to know if you're valuing your time is to ask yourself if you are producing or consuming. Most often,
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
um yeah, that's totally a nice one. Yeah, I should
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
take it. Because most
You
of the
should.
time you're basically consuming all the things, yeah, all the
Yes, yes,
content that is out there.
yes, yeah.
How about also like for Naval talks about specific skills, right? Can you share about your specific skills?
Um, Naval talks about specific skills and says that like in the modern world, if you want to be one of the top people in one field or the other, you will have to
Right.
be one of the best in that field for you to become the top, right? And he talks about building and selling. So there's some people who their skills lies around selling, and there's some people who are around building, which will be something like coding. Then selling will be marketing, going out there and selling
Mm-hmm.
the word and all that. Um,
But
me,
do you think that he prioritized building over selling? Like he talks something like um
yes, yes,
I'd
yes,
rather yeah.
yes, yes. Because everybody can sell, like most people can sell, but
Mm-hmm.
building is harder than selling. So he says, I'd rather teach an engineer marketing than a marketer engineering. Yeah, because most of the time
Yeah, yeah.
it will actually be easier for you to learn building early on, then couple that with selling later, other than start with selling earlier, then add engineering later, because that will be harder, kind of.
I see.
So it will be much better for you to start off with the building skill. So let's say something in depth. So let's say if you're going into tech, you go coding into one specific skill, go in depth into it. If you're talking something like uh, building a space company, you can go learn some physics, really go deep into it,
Right.
So yeah, so
Uh-huh.
you can go deep into one specific skill. Then later you can couple that with selling, but also not everyone can sell. So you don't
That's
have
so
to
true. Uh-huh.
force yourself to go and learn selling. If you feel like you're not into selling, you can get other people to help you with selling, but building is really important because very few people can build, right?
Go-
Yeah, but
Totally.
so I've been working with different startups with the goal of learning these two skills and trying to figure out which one I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
I started with building, so I was doing mostly data analytics and also operations. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
then with time, I felt like I was confident in building. I wanted to also learn some sales. So right now, I am helping a company in sales, marketing, and data management. So I'm trying to add that up. And I felt like I am not really good at sales, but I have learned a lot into that period. Like
Mm-hmm.
I
But
think,
how do you
go
like
ahead.
I'm curious like how did you like did you know that you were not good at sales or like you realized
I
or
felt
you
like I felt
yeah.
like I felt like I wasn't good at sales because like I sucked at just normal day talking like this, like we are talking. I felt like I sucked at
Uh-huh.
it, you know. And I think
Uh,
that was because of when I was young, I used to stammer a lot. So
mm,
and as I continued to grow up, I think I had that some kind of trauma, which made me, how would you say it, like shy, kind of, because of
Oh,
that, because I was afraid maybe I was gonna stammer and people maybe would, I don't know, would cringe at that, you know. Yeah,
yeah, makes
yeah.
sense. Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, but the more you do something, the better you get at it, and
That's
it's
yeah.
also important to have people who push you towards something, because
Mm,
sometimes when you're on this comfort zone, you don't learn and you don't grow. But sometimes you will find this one person or this one mentor, like in the previous company that I was working, our CEO, he was really good at pushing people. So
mhm,
sometimes push you and you would feel bad, like he was pushing you too much. But really, after
mm,
getting out of that, you look back and
right.
you're like, damn, I have grown. This guy did well for me. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you've watched this series called The Bear.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you should check it out. It's about this chef who went into this big chain of restaurants, and he was
Mhm.
pushed too hard. But then after the end of it, he became one of the top chefs in the world.
Wow,
So
super
yeah,
nice. Hmm.
yeah. So I think
How about like, have you asked like your friends, families about like what am I good at, and because I've tried it with my parents, and they were like, I'm their daughter, right? And then they were like motivating, you're good, blah blah blah. But yeah,
yeah,
have
that
you
is a
tried
good
it?
one. Um, yeah, I have tried asking my friends and family, and they feel like I'm built at okay, I am good at building more than selling. And
Mm.
some of them say I'm good at figuring out things.
Oh,
So
that's
I think
nice. They are
that's
problem solver.
yeah, yeah. So that's more of building. But I think that's really nice that you said it, because most often the people around you more they know you more than you know
Yeah, because like
yourself.
I think
Yeah,
you have in your head that like you're criticizing everything, and then
yeah,
you feel like you're not good at something, but others can see that you're pretty
yes,
good.
yes,
So yeah.
yes, yes.
But for me, I
Um,
struggled with their answers. Like their answers will be mainly on the soft skills, like, oh, you're, I don't know, responsible, or like
yeah,
all this. So
yeah.
and then I'm not quite sure like how can I make it like example relate to build product, or yeah, that is
I
like quite
think.
challenging, like why it's mainly soft skills that they mention, but
Mhm.
I felt like I need something tangible, or like something that um practical, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, then let me ask you this. When you were growing up, maybe you wanted to
Mm.
become something, right? But did your family
No,
and friends
actually,
think that maybe you
actually,
would become something else?
no, actually, I struggled with these questions. Like from first grade, like they would ask us like, "What are you gonna be? What profession are you gonna do like when you grow up?" And I always struggled because I had only, I don't know, three professions that I knew, like I don't know, banker, teacher, something.
Yeah.
And I think it was always like really hard question for me to answer. But in my high school, I did like I was 100% that I was going to study math and do more. I was more on the science side, but then I ended up studying social entrepreneurship, which is like totally like another way, I would say. But yeah,
That-
that's interesting
That's
how you
interesting, and that's
plan everything, and then like it
yeah,
turns out to be
yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, but I think it's really important, even Naval talks about it. It's really important that you take a lot of time to think about the important things in life, or the to answer the important questions, like what you do, who you do it with, the relationships that you want to be within.
Mhm.
Because these are things that you spend decades in, you know. And
This is very interesting. Can I like
yeah,
can I
yeah,
mention
yeah,
here? So he
yeah,
talks about relationship, right? how it's very important because you're gonna spend your life with the partner for your rest of your life, for example. And he says that like you need to at least 2-3 years to think about it. But like I'm Muslim, right? And if we don't have like you need to like figure out really quick. I mean, maybe not really quick, but like and then you need to decide basically. Huh?
Within how long? What is the period for
I
you
mean,
guys?
there's no period, but like you need to talk with with the intention that you would like to marry, and then like it's quite short, I would say. I don't know. I mean, it's based on my friends and family. So yeah, that was interesting. I was like, oh, pretty cool. Yeah. Like we're not spending too much time to think about it. Yeah, but I think it's the intentions, like what we care about it is definitely intentions. Probably. I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
Just to mention something, Naval doesn't like us or like me and you to like take his wordings as the Bible. He likes us to to think around them, to question them, to So if you feel like, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was about to ask like what are the some points in his teachings or like in his books, right? That you don't agree with.
I don't know. Most of the things
Because
actually I agree with.
I feel like you're super loyal follower of Naval.
Not really loyal, but I think most of the things that he talks about make sense to me. Like, and yes, I agree with that. And he also says that anytime you're listening to a podcast or you're reading a book and you reach a point whereby this guy or this person talks about something that you completely don't agree with, he said you should drop that book aside and don't read it. Like, let's say somebody's talking about meditation and they be like, after 20 minutes, I started levitating in the air. You're like, no, this is not real. I don't agree with this. So why should I continue reading the rest?
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Because like for me, okay, I might not agree with a couple of things, but I will still continue seeing like maybe I would agree on different stuff. Yeah.
Yes. But I think it's actually interesting that different people have different ideas and different perspectives in things, and mostly it's because of the way people grew up and their environment, how they were exposed. And I think it's really important that you think about your ideas and what you think and why you think about them and why do other people think this way and how did they come up to think this way. So I think this will also lead you to a place whereby you no longer really judge people when they do certain things or when they have certain let's say a perspective, because you will realize deeper, like, because this person could have been different if they could have been exposed to certain things, right? So I think it's really important to have that openness and to know that this is how it came to be. And if it's actually possible that if you expose yourself to certain things, you will end up somewhere else other than somewhere else, right?
Makes sense.
So I think,
interesting.
Yeah.
And he talks about location that is very important. Like basically the most important, I think, the location, like where are you located at, like in what time kind of. Yeah, because I remember after graduating, I went to Canada to check it out, like if I can stay. And then I went back home and I'm not sure why, but I thought maybe I could stay back home. But then I realized I can't. Yeah. I stayed there for 6 months because I was working remotely. But then I moved to Dubai and yeah, it definitely like makes a lot of impact on where you are located at the moment and like what kind of people you meet and what kind of ideas you have. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think location is a big game changer. The same way Knaval talks about it. If you find yourself in the wrong place, you will find yourself with the wrong company, doing the wrong things. And
Right.
yeah, so
Can
I
I
think,
share something?
yeah, sure.
I'm not sure where did I read it. Probably, oh yeah, probably in Naval's book. He mentions
Mhm.
that in California, everyone is, I mean, I'm not sure, right? I mean, it talks about
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
but most of the people are super respectful, like to everyone, like to workers, because they know that after, I don't know, 10, 15 years, they can become next Elon Musk or next Mark Zuckerberg. Like, like they
Yeah,
think super long term, that they're super
yes,
considerate, and yeah. I think the
yeah,
difference is this one, like being able to think long term, like shifting your mindset. Yeah.
yes. And also being where your goals will be aligned, because like he was saying, for San Francisco, if he is like tech bros or tech people like kind of thought like, where is this one place where we can meet together and do our things, and they chose
Mm,
San Francisco because of the features. I can't remember specifically the features that he mentioned,
weather?
but
Was just kidding.
yeah, like maybe nice water, nice nature and stuff like
Mm,
that. So it's
that's
the
cool.
best environment for them to build tech companies and enjoy that. So I think something like that.
That's so
Yeah,
interesting.
location
Yeah.
location can make a big difference in your life, really big. Yeah, that's why it's advisable not to spend your lifetime in your hometown,
Oh yeah,
because
for sure.
yeah, go out there, man, explore, grow.
Girl,
Yeah,
yes. So, also like in his book, he mentions about that the almost 8 billion people, right? And then
yeah,
that someday he would like to see almost 8 billion companies. What's your take on this?
I agree, and I think that's where we're going. Like I'd
That's
mentioned to you about
that's so
personal
cool,
branding.
right?
Yeah, that would be so cool, because everyone will be trying to solve problems for themselves and for others, and branding that problem through themselves, and earning money through that and living through that.
Mm,
I think that will make almost everybody self-actualized and happy. Yeah, so I think that's where we're going, and I think that is the future. Right now, you can see more Gen Zs are trying to like follow their passions more, right? Like if someone loves singing, they'll just tell their parents, "I'm gonna be a singer," and they go
mm,
become a singer, right? So I think we're going there more and more, and I think that will help more people to choose something they are more interested, something they are more passionate about, and that's how everybody will almost be authentically themselves, and that's how
mhm,
we will
mhm.
maximize the impact for everyone and for the world. And the
Right.
tasks that let's say we won't be able to do, the boring tasks that most people won't be able to do, we'll just automate that with AI. So it's a win-win for everyone, right?
I know in one of the podcasts, someone mentioned that in the future it's gonna be a $1 billion company, just one person. Like there's no employee, nothing, but they will be
Yes.
automating lots of things. So it's so super nice. I mean, that's
Yeah, that's really
exciting.
beautiful. Yeah, that's because of the modern forms of leverage available. Even like right now, we are seeing companies that are um, giving, let's say, more than 100K average uh, return in revenue annually, and it's one
Mm,
person. I was reading about this other guy who was building a company that does automated AI short videos, faceless, and he's just one person, and
mm,
the company is doing about 83 AR. So
mhm.
yeah,
Wow. And
that is the
like,
future.
what do you think? What are the some challenges that um people are facing? Let's say if the goal is like 8 billion companies, right?
Yeah,
And basically means like everyone needs to start their own company. What are the challenges for someone to own or to start their company? If it makes sense. Does it make
I don't
sense?
like the challenge for like everyone to get started, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, like for an individual. From your perspective, because you've already started a couple of ventures, right?
Yeah.
And you probably had this idea before.
Yes.
And how, like, what kind of challenges have you faced? Like,
I
because
think
was it for you, you had the idea, you started immediately, or you took some time and
yeah.
then, you know?
So I think the main challenge would be to for you to figure out, and the most important one, like, is for you to figure out what to do. That's really important, and that will take
Mm.
you some time.
That's so interesting because like
Yeah, yeah.
I know
But
I would like to start something, but like, and then when I think about like what I can start, it's just like blank. I have no idea. Yeah.
that
So
happens,
yeah,
and
this is
it
a
did
good
happen
point.
for me for a long time. Yeah.
So the question, what?
Yeah, so I think that is the biggest challenge. So just to figure out what you'll do first. And this will take some time. It will take you a couple of iterations. And the best way to figure out if you don't know
Mhm.
what to do is to pick something. If you don't know what you want to do, but you have this one idea that you're not sure, start it. Give it 1 2 months and see how it goes. After that 1 2 months, you'll feel like, okay, this is something that I want to do, or you'll feel like, no, this is not something that I want to do. Then you will
So
drop
how
that.
many
Another one.
how many time, like how long did have you need to give like in terms of timeline so you can understand, because 1 month is really small, like it's not enough, right?
Yes.
Would you say 6 months
I think
or a
I think
year?
I think I think giving yourself a time frame will be dangerous because it will force you to decide on something that you will necessarily not be that sure about. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I think it's actually okay for you not to start something. Naval says that
Okay.
if you can't decide, the answer is no.
Oh,
So
okay. Mhm.
yeah. So I think not everybody has to go that directions. But if
Mhm.
you want to go, the way to go is to keep trying, keep trying. It may take you. Some people get it right at 50. Some people get it right at 40. Some people at
Mm.
21. So that's how
Right.
different it is. And they say regression is suppression. So the more you try to get that idea, I think the harder it becomes, kind of. So I think you just have to let yourself be and allow allow kind of allow trial and error. And with time, you might be
Mhm.
surprised to stumble. I think it might be sooner than you think. You might even, like, when you talk about giving yourself a time frame, you might say 3 years, but maybe in 2 weeks you figure out, damn, this is something I want to do for life.
Oh, I
So I
see.
think time
Yeah.
frame will be limiting. So I think it's much better for you to like try to follow your passion, what you're interested in, and try to monetize that in one way or the other. And sometimes even interests change. So when they change, you continue changing, and you might find yourself in this interest that you say, this is what I'm really
Mhm.
interested in, and this is what
Right.
I think I want to do for life.
That makes
Does it
sense.
make sense?
That's
But I
good.
think
It
personally,
does.
that's
It
my
totally does.
perspective. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Like
and
experimenting and yeah, trying it
yeah,
out. Yep, totally.
yeah, yeah. But I think
So,
what really helps, like for me, is a lot of meditations. For other people, meditations will be sitting on a couch and putting hands on that position. But
right.
I feel like long walks and just letting your mind wander will help a lot. So try not to be
I
very
do
busy.
struggle with that. I do struggle with that.
Yeah, try not to be very busy because when you're busy all the time, it will destroy your ability to create something new and to build wealth if you want to build wealth. So try
That's a
not.
good point because when you are super busy, I think you kind of switch your mindset to survival mode, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
then it's super
yes,
hard to create, like be
yes,
creative and
yes, yes.
it's
Plus,
interesting.
if you can also do this, it will be nice for you not to think a lot about the money. Uh, think about
Mm,
just having fun, enjoying what you do, and you have to shift your mind on how you understand money and wealth, so that when you're doing things to solve problems and have fun in the process, and you're doing your passion instead of thinking too much about how much money you're going to make. Just believe that the money will come eventually if you solve the right problems, and if you're really passionate about it, because that passion will drive you further more than just what a mere motivation will drive you. Yeah, so
I think that leads to the point when he says, do things for its own sake.
yes.
Um,
Yes. And I
because
think that's the ultimate form of meditation. Like it will actually free you. Like when you do things like that, uh, it has this aspect of freeing your mind in a way, like the way artists do their work, like the way, I don't know, like you just do things for their own sake.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's bringing some kind of artistic element into anything that you do. So you think yourself more as an artist other than yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. We are on 48 minutes, but yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Willie, and I'm gonna
You're
stop
welcome.